Well, hello everybody. Today's video is sponsored by Delphi Technologies. Just kidding. Either these pumps are complete garbage or I'm missing something. This is the fourth fuel pump module I'll be putting in this vehicle because the third one is starting to fail very quickly. I can't even get a full tank of gas before these pumps fail. And they always fail in the same way. You have fuel pressure 1 second, and snap of the finger, no fuel pressure. I did everything right. I got the Delphi cleaning kit, I dropped the tank, removed all the fuel out of the tank, did a complete inspection. The tank looks brand new on the inside. And I did the full tank cleaning like I was supposed to, made sure it was dried out, new fuel filter, put it all back together, and it was fine for like 2 years. I didn't drive this thing very much, maybe like 200 to 500 miles. It just sits around a lot because I have other vehicles and I'm kind of just working on it. And I've always kept it pretty full of gas, but one day it just failed. All of a sudden I had to get it towed home. And then I got a replacement from Delphi through the warranty on Rocket Auto, and that one lasted 20 miles. Exact same thing. And I completely eliminated the electrical system on the van and powered the pump directly. It was the same result. It was like 3 PSI. It would get like a little bit of fuel flow, but it would not build pressure. I checked the fuel pressure regulator. I even replaced it. No go. It was definitely the pump, because after that I put one from O'Reilly's, which is called Precision Fuel Pumps or whatever, and it's the exact same thing. Exact same packaging, just different print on the box. Pump is exactly the same, and that's what's in here right now. And I think that one's going bad because I just started getting a lean condition when I had it idling all of a sudden. I gotta check the fuel pressure. Anyways, when I dropped the tank for the second time, I went ahead and built the hatch in the floor of the van, so I don't have to keep dropping the tank because that thing's like 300 or 400 pounds, and I have to remove a lot of that fuel, so it's like kind of manageable. It's a pain in the butt to get to those quick disconnects up above. And if you're out like far away from home, you don't want to be dropping the tank on the side of the highway full of gas. Originally, I thought making a hatch in the floor of the van was kind of stupid because I was like, oh, you just get a quality fuel pump and it'll last forever. But that's starting to not seem like the case. But these fuel pumps, I think, are just garbage. I've heard other stories of people having fuel pump after fuel pump, and it's just the fuel pump that's going bad. And they're just like trash parts, apparently. There is one more test that I want to do, and it's going to be a differential test, but having this hatch in the floor is going to be a lot easier because I'm going to get an adapter with a fuel pressure gauge right off the pump, and then I'm going to compare it to the fuel pressure right on the rail. It is possible there's a restriction in the line themselves. It's not the filter. I've replaced it like twice, and I even did a pressure test in front and behind the filter, and the filter was good. Maybe one of the rubber fuel lines is like bulging internally and causing a restriction or something weird like that. I've heard of stuff with like brake systems doing that, but never with really fuel systems, but I'm gonna test it for sure. I wanna know if these pumps are 100% garbage or if it's really something I'm missing. But anyways, let's go ahead and get the hatch built in the floor of this van. It's gonna be pretty sweet. So that way I don't have to keep dropping the tank. I can just swap it out real quick inside the van. And when I build the subfloor, because this is gonna be a camper van, I'm gonna have a cutout. But the first thing I'm gonna do before dropping the tank is hop under the van and find the midpoint of where the fuel pump is and make a little bit of a mark on the floor. Yeah, you can see where I made the mark in the center of the fuel pump module top. I am just gonna drill a hole. And I took a piece of cardboard, made it kind of a rectangle, and go right there in the center. And you can see I got the drill bit centering it, and it'll go right there. Fortunately, it's between these supports. And this definitely could be kind of a pain without taking the tank out. And I got the fuel lines all covered up and kind of pushed down, so I'm not gonna hit them with the recip saw. And I just got everything covered up. I'll just line it up here with the drill bit, trace it out. All right, now I'll just drill out the 4 corners here. Big recip saw, a little jigsaw. Hello. Now I'm just gonna clean it up around the edges. Before I do any of the painting, I'm gonna go ahead and drill the holes. I got some M6 rib nuts here, and I think I'm gonna go about 1/2 inch away. Sounds about right. And then the overlap will be 1 inch when I cut the panel out. I'll do a bunch of rib nuts, I guess. More the merrier. I'm just drilling some pilot holes first. Maybe I'm going overboard with the amount of bolts I'm gonna have on this thing, but I don't care. I like to overdo stuff sometimes. Time for the big holes. Look at this. Rib nut just goes right in. I'm just gonna ream all of the holes. That way the rib nuts will sit flush. Alright, I got the panel cut out, much bigger than I needed, so I'd rather have too much to bring home than not enough. Just line it up there. I'll probably do a little bit of a rough cut just so I can get kind of past these bolts there, but it's going to be very important not to cut it incorrectly, because I paid $10 for this thing. Little panel. It's got a little rust, not bad, just some surface. Right here, just on the other side where I drilled out those spot welds. And then we'll go on this like corner. Anyways, go ahead and line it up here. That looks pretty good. I got it positioned right where I want it, and I'll use some powerful magnets just to hold it in place. And then I'll go underneath with a job site marker and just trace this out the opening and put a dot right in the center of each one of those holes. I'll mark each spot where a hole needs to go with this thing, and then I'll drill out all the holes in the drill press to allow these M6 screws to fit. All right, got all of the holes punched and reamed out. And then I just went about 1/2 inch past the holes all the way around, and we just need to cut out that outer section. And then we'll just clean it up. Oh yeah, all the holes line up. All right, I got some rust encapsulator platinum, and I'm just gonna paint the strip around where the bolts are gonna go, or the rib nuts. Maybe a little bit past. Now we'll just install all of the M6 rib nuts and just lower it down. And rib load it in. And of course, I'll paint the panel. Tank straps are tight. And there we go, guys, right on target. You probably could have shifted this way just a little bit, but I still have plenty of room to finagle that out of there. Should be fine. But anyways, this is gonna be so satisfying, connecting these lines. Yeah, it looks like we got plenty of room for bolts to stick out just a little bit. All right, new pump is in. We're running about almost 14 volts. And it sounds like it's working, unlike the other one, which sounded like something was wrong with it. It just sounded really quiet. But I went ahead and did replace the regulator with the OEM Motorcraft one. So I'm gonna make sure that's not leaking. You can hear it. And the new hatch I have, nice and strong, running fuel through there. No leaks, it's always good to check for leaks. 17 gallons in it. And I got a new OEM Motorcraft filter as well. Where's it at? Make sure those are not leaking or dripping. Oh yeah. They're not 100% lined up. It's hard to get those drilled just perfect, but I'm just gonna scratch out kind of like where they need to be trimmed, and I'll just use a Dremel tool to kind of enlarge those holes. I got all of the bolts threaded in. Definitely overkill, but that's okay. I got some butyl rubber around the inside edge and around the bolts as well. I just want to make sure it's like waterproof, so when you're going through like rain and stuff, it doesn't seep into the floor. Might make it a little harder to pull off, but start screwing them in. So I stuck a little bit of sound deadening mat on the lid. I think that's gonna be about it. But anyways, it's gonna be so much easier to get to my pump now with this. I can just take all the bolts out with some power tools. Hopefully I have power tools, because that would take forever if you didn't. And then I'll probably just use like a pry bar and kind of just work it all the way around. And when I build my floor, I'm gonna build around it and build like a hatch on the floor as well, so I can access it. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching. I hope this video was helpful on how to make a hatch for your fuel pump to make things easier, because it really sucks to have to get all of that gasoline out of there. It's really not that hard to pull the tank, but it's so much easier if you have a little hatch. But thanks for watching, and I will catch you next time. Peace out.